Hello, Redlationship fam! How was your day? I'm Frank, and we're taking the scenic route today to enjoy some truly top-tier stories from the Reddit community. Roll down the window by hitting that like button, and maybe subscribe too? Let's get into today's story. Our first story today comes from the Am I the Asshole subreddit. The title is, Am I the Asshole Here Because I Refuse to Try for a Daughter? And before we start, just a quick heads up for you guys. This post does include some content related to potential child abandonment and reproductive coercion. Feel free to skip if you're not comfortable with it. Timestamps are always in the description. Thank you. My wife and I have been having a hard time. She is a teacher, and her job is stressful. Every day she talks about how much she dislikes her students and their parents. In many ways, this has bled into our home life. She often will get frustrated with our son and say, "You're acting like so-and-so," or "So-and-so in my class does the same thing." This is confusing for him, because he doesn't know who those people are. Our son is starting kindergarten in the fall. My wife wants to have a second baby. She says she is sick of being a boy mom and wants a daughter. I do not think we are ready to have a second baby. For one thing, we have had several conflicts with our parents about childcare. Both have said they will help us, but her parents are flaky and my parents are judgmental. For a second thing, we are not doing well financially at the moment. Expenses have gone up, and that is stressful. For a third thing, my wife wants to have a girl, and I'm scared of how she will react if that doesn't happen. My wife said I'm being selfish because I got a boy and now think we're done. She said if we had a girl, I would want to try again. That's not true. I don't care. I just think now is a bad time for a second child, period. Work is stressful, and home is stressful too. Am I an asshole? The way I look at it, this is absolutely not the right time for them to bring another baby into the mix. You've got the childcare clashes with the parents, shaky finances, and on top of that, the wife is totally stressed out at work. So, OP is definitely not the asshole at all. And the wife saying she wants a girl just because she's sick of being a boy mom? That is a ridiculous reason to have a child. What happens if baby number 2 isn't a girl? Is she going to have a complete breakdown and make the whole family miserable over it? Who knows? It's basically a coin flip. And what if it is a girl? From where I'm sitting, there's a real chance she completely pushes her son to the side. That poor kid is going to have to deal with some serious favoritism. It's genuinely concerning. A commenter says, "What happens if you just end up having another boy? Are you guys going to keep trying until you finally get that girl?" Not the asshole. God, I don't think I've ever seen a comment section blow up quite like this before. I honestly had no idea this type of situation was so incredibly common. And OP says, "I have literally tried saying this exact same thing to her, but she is confident our second baby would be a girl." Another commenter says, "Not the asshole. She is clearly not handling parenting well with just one kid, and having a girl is absolutely not going to change that reality. She has these wild expectations of ideal child behavior that literally no kid is ever going to rise to. You'd just end up stuck with 2 completely confused children and an even more frustrated wife, completely regardless of the gender. You have every single right to stop at 1 child, even if you both originally planned for more. And looking at how this is playing out, you definitely should. Yikes." And OP says, "Right, this is exactly what I have tried to tell her. A baby girl is not going to just pop out of the womb wearing a spotless white pinafore, folding her hands neatly in her lap and politely asking for a cup of tea. A girl will cry as much as a boy, poop as much as a boy, and spit up as much as a boy. Babies are babies." The other says, "Not the asshole. Honestly, beyond all the normal parenting stressors you just mentioned, this whole gender obsession seriously needs to be addressed. I mean, if your wife is sick of being a boy mom, what is she gonna do if the next kid is a boy? Just abort and try again?" And OP replies, We would have 2 boys, and I imagine she would be twice as unhappy. Another person expresses, not the asshole. She is clearly not stable enough to handle another baby right now. What she really needs is to focus on the child she already has and get a therapist. And maybe even find a new job, because life is really hard for teachers these days. OP says she really doesn't enjoy it. She says the kids are impossible. When that movie Weapons came out, she literally said the final scene with the weaponized children is exactly what her students act like on a daily basis. After 2 days, OP came back with an update. And honestly, things went pretty badly. It says, I'm going to keep this short and sweet. Turns out, she was already pregnant. That's exactly why she was getting so insanely upset. I tried telling her that I absolutely do not want another baby right now, and that we just aren't in the right place for it, and she just drops the bomb that she's already pregnant. So, I guess that's that. I asked her if she even knew how this happened. She literally said, it doesn't matter. I told her I wouldn't be mad. I just needed us to be completely honest with each other. That's when she admitted she stopped taking her birth control because it was making her feel crazy, and she didn't tell me because she didn't want to make a thing about it. Well, it's definitely a massive thing now. She'll be able to finish out this teaching semester and start the next one, but then she'll go straight on maternity leave. This is obviously going to be incredibly tough for us financially, but honestly, I am worried about our son way more than anything else. I told her we desperately need to make a plan to ensure he doesn't get sidelined by the new baby. She rolled her eyes at me. She told me that he is fine because he's a big boy now. He has his friends at kindergarten and he needs to focus on those peer relationships. I told her that I am serious about this, and it turned into a fight. I said if she can't be a mother to our son, I will take him to my parents and stay there with him until she can. She said I was being dramatic and that everything will be fine and he will love his sister. We don't know the gender yet, but she knows. I guess that wasn't that short. Or that sweet. Oh well. A comment has the highest upvote says, it is most definitely a thing that she stopped taking her birth control and didn't tell you. Just read that back to yourself. She stopped on purpose and didn't tell you on purpose. What part of that is okay? She chose to get pregnant without your input, and now you're stuck with a woman who is going to hate this child if it turns out to be a boy, and who already hates your son because he's a boy. You made your own choices, so it's your son I feel bad for. OP chose to stay with this woman after being deceived into conceiving a child he said he wasn't ready for. Her behavior is deplorable, and it is absolutely assault. What I meant, though, is that he chose to stay. And for this new baby, if it is a boy, your wife is gender-obsessed, and your son will figure out really soon, if he hasn't already, that his own mom doesn't love him. I'll wish you luck and suggest therapy for your son. He's going to need it. A person replies, I think that we all know this kid already knows where he stands with mom. Poor kid. I despise people like OP's wife. Seriously, if you didn't actually want kids, why on earth did you have them? Another commenter says, well, crap. Your boy is going to be completely ignored by his own mother. I already feel sad for him. Your wife desperately needs therapy. And the other replies, my parents had 2 girls and I'm the oldest. For whatever reason, my mom felt exactly that way about me. Like, all of my early childhood memories are either being constantly scolded or told how I needed to just suck it up because, oh my God, the baby. Even when we were adults, my mother would plan these secret vacations with my sister and tell her not to tell me. I finally just stopped talking to her a few years ago. This kind of thing will completely mess up your kid, OP. Everyone down in the comments of this update really nailed exactly how serious this whole situation is. We aren't just looking at a normal disagreement between a husband and wife anymore. This has crossed the line into some major deception. What this wife actually said about her own 5-year-old son it's honestly hard to even wrap my head around. How on earth is a kindergartner supposed to just focus on peer relationships and not need his mother? The situation this poor kid is in right now is just absolutely heartbreaking. But I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What would you do in that situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And now, let's move to another story. It also comes from the Am I the Asshole subreddit. The title is, Am I the Asshole Here Not Giving Girlfriend a Spare Key? I, 27 male, flat out refuse to give my girlfriend of 4 years, 24 female, a key to my apartment. Honestly, not even my parents have a spare key. Now, I do have a key to my girlfriend's apartment, which she gave me about a year ago, but I mostly use it just to check on her dog during the afternoon, since I get off work around that time. Her dog is fairly destructive when left home alone, so he has to be crated. This routine is also only done Monday through Wednesday. On Thursday and the weekend, my girlfriend doesn't work. On Friday, her dog is at a daycare for limited socializing. Apparently, he hasn't graduated to full-time yet, according to the staff. My girlfriend brought this argument up completely randomly a few weeks ago. I explained to her that I just wasn't comfortable giving anyone a key to my home, and it has absolutely nothing to do with her. I even offered to hand her key right back to her. She declined, obviously, because I'm the one looking after her dog and occasionally doing light housework. We didn't talk about it much right then, probably because we were out in public. But yesterday, she asked me again why she couldn't have a key. I asked her point blank why she needed access to my home. She claimed that giving her a spare is just for emergencies that might occur. I replied that I could just give my parents a key for that, or even the building super could handle it since they already have access. Well, that response completely set her off, and she has been ignoring me ever since she left. I genuinely don't understand the issue here. She has been inside my apartment before. It's not like I'm hiding anything. I'm not comparing her to any of my exes either. None of them ever had a key, period. She doesn't even have any of her personal items at my place. Am I the asshole for not giving her a key? Edit. My girlfriend has stated she prefers her place over mine, which is why she typically brings an overnight bag when she tries to stay at my place. She hates that instead of a mattress, I sleep on a Japanese floor mattress. I live a minimalist life as I'm hardly home. If I had a pet or plants, something that would require attention, then someone would have a spare key. Oh man. I don't think OP is completely in the wrong with his thoughts, but this guy is just thinking way too mechanically. And I have to say, he is completely clueless when it comes to understanding women. He's confusing the physical function of a key with the emotional weight it actually carries in a relationship. Look, sometimes us guys can be really practical. But when you get so practical that you completely dismiss the need for emotional connection and sharing a life with your partner, that just turns into selfishness. And that's exactly what's happening with OP. They've been together for 4 whole years, and he still seems this inconsiderate. It's like he hasn't figured out his own girlfriend at all. A commenter says, I think if you wanted an FWB and not a girlfriend, you really should have told her 3.5 years ago. It's very normal for partners to give each other a key, and it's honestly more about ease and trust than anything else. At this point, a lot of couples would already be looking at moving in together, and having a key is usually the first step. I imagine her frustration is less about the physical key or wanting access to your space, and way more about the lack of trust, intimacy, and relationship progression that it signifies. A person replies, brutal, but true. Another commenter says, dude, except you're willing to actually progress this relationship, I foresee a breakup in your very near future. The other says, yeah, the dude basically just told her straight up that their relationship isn't going anywhere. Here is the quick update just after 5 hours from OP. And it says, issue solved. I honestly didn't realize her feelings were so hurt, because I was strictly thinking about the practical side of things, while she was struggling to ask questions about our future. So, I went over to her place with some chocolates and a cute keychain. I apologized for not understanding that this wasn't really about a physical key. I told her she doesn't need a key to know that I'm fully committed to her. I also explained that she doesn't need a key to a place that doesn't even feel like a home to her. I gave her the keychain so that when my lease is up and we look for a real home together, and she will have a place for a key. A commenter says, "She complained about not having a key to your place as a symptom of her deeper concerns about her status in your mind. And your brilliant solution was to give her a keychain with absolutely no key on it? This is exactly like someone telling you they are starving, and your answer is handing them an empty plate with a vague promise that there might be food on it next time. You're the asshole, and very soon to be a lonely asshole." Another commenter says, "Issue solved. OP gave her an empty keychain." And the other replies, "I literally didn't read the update yet. I thought you were just making a joke." Holy shit! I am honestly impressed by how he managed to go from gaslighting and deflecting to somehow topping that with the ultimate slap in the face. He still won't give her a key because he's looking out for her. She doesn't need it after all. She can just take the empty keychain for now. Alright, that's the end of our story today. I just want to say thank you guys so much for being here with Frank today. I really appreciate that. And if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. See y'all!